together and he started to play and you hear them playing together. And this guy, Thorburn, he has three daughters that sing. They're very good singers. Lace, something Lace.
Mm.
They're very good here. He played keyboards. So we said, let's start. And then we just started, got instruments together, and we practiced. A guy called Colin Leslie too, he was another student, he played bass. And in no time we started to play parties. And we started to play one or two clubs, and it started to grow.
How old were you then?
I was about 13.
13. So what was your parents' reaction like when they realized that you were playing, that you had your own band? And
well, let's go back. Let's retrack a little bit. My father was a gourmet cook. He had a steakhouse in Jamaica.
Oh.
And my mother worked in it too, but she was very good at Chinese cooking. So what happened is that I'm not good at cooking. I'm good at cleaning, because when I used to cook, they laugh at me. Then I married my wife, who was an incredible gourmet cook. So then I get that, so I do the cleaning. So that we have a great partnership there.
Uh-huh.
So what happened now is that in the restaurant I used to work. So when I came home from school, I would wait in my father's restaurant. So we'd have people used to eat from all over, like the Prime Minister used to come and Herb Steakhouse and eat. Well, it could hold like 80 people. So I'm always working the evening there. I'd study in between. And then now, to get more experience, I would go and work over Mimi. We was at a place called Northside Plaza, which is in Ligony. And right beside my restaurant, there was a Chinese Mimi restaurant. So my father, we were friends, like family. And I would go over and do 2 hours of work there to learn, just to see how because it's a bigger restaurant, and to learn how managing, so I would serve and everything. So I would earn tremendous tips, my friend. So at school, I was the banker. I would give people money for projects.
and your parents' reaction to your music?
Well, they loved it in a sense, but they were more saying that keep to the academics and don't get carried away in the music, be strictly, like every other parent, make sure you get your grades and everything, and that's what's going to make your music, like any other parents, music not going to really.
When you think of music and the long arc of your music career, your dad, a gourmet chef, and your mom and so on, who do you see more of in your music, or the way you express yourself in music? Which of them, or is it both?
Well, my mother wasn't so much of a music person. She, she was into flowers. Excellent. She green fingers. Anything she plant. In fact, she would go around the house with, like on my brother's house. She would take one plant. Oh, this is lovely, and plant it at someone else. So just spread all the love that way. My father now loved dancing. He was a great ballroom dancer. He won many prizes in England for ballroom dancing. So I guess that rhythm probably came from him to a certain extent,
Is he originally from Jamaica?
Yeah, man, he's from Westmoreland. Both my parents.
Both of them, wow.
My mother is from Balaclava, Christiana there, and my father is from Westmoreland. And my father left and went to New York at a young age, and he worked with a chain of restaurants there and everything, and that's why he became so good at cooking,
What would you say is the most memorable thing either of them has ever said to you?
I think I would say my mother always say, do good unto others, and good will always come back to you. She was always she would give the last thing that she had. There was nothing too much to give, and she loved everybody. My father always was a very jovial person. He never thought there was no negative for him. Let's do it. Let's get going. It's going to be done.
Wow.
Stop. And it was very, very positive that way.
I know how you are. I've read how you are with your children and how much you love them and so on. And I can, just listening to you, I can feel the love that came from your parents. But if I'm curious, if you were to eavesdrop a conversation with them telling a stranger about you, what do you think either of them will, how do you think they will describe you?
My parents you're talking about?
Yes, your parents, sir.
I think they would describe him as, Willie is a good youth, good boy, a little bit stubborn. You have to really grab him by him ear sometime. If he wants to go do something, he's going to be determined. But in his heart, he has a good heart.
He has a good heart. Let me ask you this, Willie. You are a music phenomenon. that.
Well, hold on a second. Let me answer. I love music.
Okay, okay,
I
Willie.
don't know if I'm a music phenomenon. That's a little
Let
bit.
let me rephrase that. You have a tremendous love for music.
I have a tremendous love for music. That's
Yes,
even better. Right. I
and
love music, and God has blessed me to be able to stay with music and keep it this long.
if I were to say you're also passionate about it, would that be accurate?
I would say that, yes.
Okay.
I eat, drink, live it, love it.
So let's take these three strands, right? These
Right.
three descriptive strands. Your parents saying that you're a good boy, right? Um, you being passionate and love for music. Describe a session with you, or describe how you would how would you use those three things to describe the way you play music?
Well, playing rhythm, to me, a rhythm is natural inside everybody. Everybody has a rhythm. And what I describe most of the time, I say that playing music is to be able to, it's like painting a picture. You speaking, I speak through drums. And in doing that, it inspires people. Even with playing with third world, you find that when you play, it's like you're energized. To me, I tell musicians that when you're going to, you have to be, if you're going to teach, you have to be passionate. Because if you're not passionate, the easiest thing, children pick up things very easily, they're sincere. So they know if you're a real deal or you're not the real deal. Be passionate about what you do. And that passion, it will just shine. And committed, stay with it. And if you're inspired, you'll inspire other people and motivate others.
Really, I'm going to put you on the spot here right now. You let me be careful how I describe you. To me, you're a creative genius. So let me give you this scenario. You're at the foot of a hill and you're looking up, and here comes this wonderful village woman, maybe in her 50s or so on, fetching a basket of produce, something on her head. And you're watching this silhouette, this movement against the backdrop, sauntering her way down. And you had to create a rhythm to describe that. What would you play on whatever surface you're sitting there right now? What would you entertain us, Willie?
I would play if the woman is walking down.
Yeah, she's walking down and she has this beautiful gait, this beautiful, movement.
Okay.
Like poetry in motion, coming
Right.
towards you.
All right, here it goes.
Wow. Wow.
So she fades out in the silhouette.
Oh, that's amazing, man. Oh. Before the show is out, Willie, I'm gonna have you doing some impromptu stuff for us. But what made you take music seriously and made a career out of it?
I never took music. Music chose me.
Aha.
It chose me.
Yes.
Because I'm going to tell you how bad it was. In that, when I was about 13 in Jamaica, my father heard this noise like late at night. And they have those beds with wood on the back of it. It's like the bed head.
Yes.
It's a wood. And he heard this noise knocking. So he searched the house. He says to my mother, "There's a thief or someone in the house." And he look. And then when he got nearer to my room, he said, "He's in Willie's room. Come." So when he look, then when he say I'm fast asleep, and I'm drumming there with my hand in the back.
While asleep.
Nice. Fast asleep.
Wow.
And it's like when you drum, it's like you feel rejuvenated. When you drum, it's like it clear me. If I have a problem, it goes through. It can, it heals me. And I think it goes out and heal other people too. To be a musician is the most honorable thing on earth to do. If you have that clarity, that sincereness and that love and humble, because the key is that we are vessels. We are nothing. God is everything. And whatever people call God is the creator. I am of no religion, but there is that great creator that created all of this universe. And when you play music, and if you have brothers that play or sisters that play together and you harmonize, there's nothing in the world greater than that, because it's like it's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And what it does is energize the people, and they clap, they laugh, they dance, they cry. It's all releasing what that music gives. It's like a doctor. It starts shaping them, and they feel good. Can you imagine what the world would be without music?
Oh no, I couldn't imagine that. Really, in that same vein, if you were in a village somewhere in Africa, and you were at the feet of some of our ancestors telling you about the drums and about drumming, what do you think, with what you know now, with your experience, what do you think some of them might be saying to you? Teach us. I think you're, okay.
Can you hear me back?
Okay.
It came back? Yeah,
yes, it came back. Did you hear me? Did you hear the whole question?
Yeah, I heard you say something about ancestors.
Right. I said if you were in a village in Africa, and you were sitting at the feet of some of our ancestors, and they were telling you about drums and drumming, what do you think, based on what you know now, what do you think some of the knowledge or wisdom they would be passing down to you about that?
I think that they would be telling me that through music, through drums, it has been an ancient language for years from Africa. It was used for, when they had births, the different drums that was used, some for ceremonial occasions, some, there's so much different things. The whole community, the drummer was like, he was the head of the village. The people, he would do everything. Anything was wrong, he would bring marriages. He was like the preacher then, and the drums is very revered. In the Western world, it's not. So our ancestors would say, listen, through the drums, unite. Through the drums, love. Through the drums, heal. Through the drums is magic within oneself. Empowering, to empower people to unite, for communities to come together. Rhythm is a part of, you're born with a heartbeat. That heartbeat moves on within inside of you. So when you're in your mother's womb, the heart is, there's a thing, you're hearing her heart?
Yes.
You've been. So there's rhythm in everybody. If some people say, I don't have rhythm, everybody has rhythm, but you just have to find it. So it's a part of your primal instinct. So you live it, you eat it, you drink it. So when a rhythm play, it affects you. You have to either move or it is there. So let me go further. Neuroscientists have studied over the last 3 years. They've studied the drums, and they've realized over many years how powerful it is. Now they're telling you, instead of take a tablet, if you're not feeling well, for a headache, go and do a drum circle. And they find that with Alzheimer's, all these things, many things, that it start curing people, help them to bring them to alters your state of consciousness. It's like consciousness. It's like when you run, you get this runner's high. The endorphins, it moves and you feel the alpha beta, the alpha inside you, it just moves and you feel positive. You're transformed, you're rejuvenated. So our ancestors, in fact, this is what our ancestors would say. Hold on, I'll tell you what they would say. I'll speak it.